I'm not as rowdy as I used to be. Hey, hey, new face, never been. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity of Chattanooga. Yeah, I want it's stuck on my tea bag. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say, I release and I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I reach, yeah, in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes. Yeah. All right. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Good morning. As we light the Christ candle, we become still for a moment. Join me if you would, please. Spirit of life, the one presence and one power, we breathe into this moment and remember that you are here expressing as us. Today, we open ourselves to spiritual maturity, not as something distant or complicated, but as the simple, steady presence of truth in our everyday lives. Holy Presence, guide us as we take these timeless unity principles and make them real. Help us move from the page into the patterns, from our heads into our habits, from Sunday inspiration into Monday choices. Give us the grace to pause before reacting, the wisdom to choose thoughts aligned with divine mind, and the courage to act from love even when it's not convenient. Remind us that every moment is a chance to practice, to forgive, to listen, to bless, to speak truth with kindness, to see the Christ within ourselves and one another. And in all this, may we remember that we are conscious creators, shaping our experience through intention, awareness, and the choices we make. I am willing, I am teachable, and I am growing in spiritual maturity. Affirm this with me, please. I am willing, I am teachable, and I am growing in spiritual maturity. And as we enter this time of worship, we affirm that we are teachable, we're growing, and we are willing. We're growing in our truest, clearest, most spiritual, mature expression, one choice at a time. We are ready to receive practical insight, ready to deepen our practice, and ready to live these principles with clarity, joy, and courage. And so it is. Amen.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors are the rainbow so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, say, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, and I'll watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, I think to myself, I think to myself, I sit, I think, and I think to myself, I think to myself. I sit, be still, and to know for myself. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh yeah. Yeah. Whew. All right. Wedding song? Wedding song, yeah. Yeah. Here and now, I promise to love faithfully. Ah. Do good, Tony. All right, love y'all. Y'all look so beautiful today. It looks so warm and warm. All right, love you.
Thank you, Landis, for making beautiful music yet again. And, hey! And thank you, Amanda, for a beautiful prayer. I see beautiful faces all through the church, and it's a beautiful day. So I'd say everything's beautiful. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria Hastings, and I'd like to start with an affirmation. That's not real, is it? Okay. Scared me a little bit. It looked real. That AI stuff's really scary. Okay. As we focus our thoughts on gratitude, we see the world in a new way, in a new light. And we're more open to spirit, to new beginnings and new possibilities. In Unity, we talk a lot about gratitude every week, all time, every day. We talk about finding gratitude in small things, in the details of life. We talk about finding gratitude in the big events of our lives. Even in very sad or even heartbreaking times, challenging times, we talk about finding gratitude in those moments. So many of you that I've spoken with have gratitude practices, as I do. I think with Unity, we're just all over that gratitude thing. So how do we feel about having gratitude for things that never happened? We've all engaged in what if thinking. What if I had met my current partner? What if I'd chosen a different career path? What if I hadn't walked through the door of a Unity church? What if I'd bought stock in Microsoft in the 1980s? I'm kidding about that one, but it's a good time to say that what if thinking isn't rumination over the past. It's actually a concept in philosophy. And these deep thinkers have determined that within the framework of what if thinking is a path to greater gratitude. Psychology's gotten on board. I've done the research, and it's really a thing now. They refer to this phenomenon as the concept of beneficial absences, unseen blessings that flow from things that never occurred. The philosophers refer to this as downward counterfactual thinking. But all we have to remember is the acronym CBAD, CBAD, could have been a disaster. I like that one better. These are the times in life when something really kind of scary, terrible, awful, dreadful, life-changing, and not in a good way, almost, but didn't happen. Some of you know my story of being almost kidnapped as a child. A man tried to lure me into his car. When I refused, he grabbed my arm and tried to pull me in. I managed to get away with the help of my guardian angel. But hey, CBAD, big time CBAD. Many years later, I heeded a whisper that told me to use valet parking at a conference center rather than the cheaper parking garage across the street. I found out later on the news there had been an attempted assault in the parking garage. At the time, I would have been there. CBAD again. It was also CBAD in the parking garage because a bystander interrupted the assailant, and an arrest was made. Yeah, the assailant, not the bystander. Just to clarify. More recently, my husband Steve and I threw a party in September to celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary. Yeah, I could have danced all night. And the venue we chose was indoor and outdoor. And although it was in the forecast, it didn't rain. So to have beautiful weather on the day of a once-in-a-lifetime event, CBAD, I still thank God every day for that. It was a big deal. Whew. Okay, the last CBAD I'm going to bring up has to do with the lupus flare I had last summer. And I've expressed my sincere gratitude to this congregation for all the love and support that you offered. But I didn't have any appreciation for the illness, the flare itself. I just couldn't get there. But I'm using the CBAD method, and a path has opened up for me. I've started to see that the outcome could have been much more dire. And CBAD isn't a dismissal, like, well, count your blessings, could have been worse. It's something different. It's an intellectual exercise in philosophy that fires off the neurons in your prefrontal cortex. This is the part of our brain that holds the critical thinking skills. Critical thinking skills allow us to make sound judgment, good decisions, delay before we respond, as Amanda said, and just all kind of good things go on there. And researchers tell us there is a stunning absence of critical thinking skills in America right now, mostly because of media manipulation. Non-critical thinkers are more likely to believe what they see on their TikTok algorithms than what they read in a scientific journal. But we don't have to do that. In Unity, we can combine our critical thinking skills with our spiritual practices, and we've got a real superpower on our hands. So I want you to think about CBAD. You might consider adding it as a boost to your gratitude practice, or maybe in my case, it would be a real superpower for you on the road to healing and recovery. If you want a head start on your CBAD practice, think of all the car accidents you almost had. There's a free article online through Psychology Today entitled, Can We Be Grateful for a Life We Didn't Live? I'll be happy to hook you up with any information that I have. Okay, now, I'm going to, as Lewis Carroll wrote, begin at the beginning. So let me welcome you again to Unity of Chattanooga's Sunday celebration service. I'm going to start with a greeting to our Facebook friends. Good morning. Hello to our regulars, our occasionals, our drop-ins, and our newbies. You're all welcome here. You're part of our Unity family, and we love you. I'd also like to extend a special welcome to anyone who's here in person for the first time. Hi there. It's dangerous around here. We'd like to welcome you, and we would want our ushers, Lori, maybe, get a packet for our visitor. Oh, good. Sarah has that. Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate that. It has some information, and there's a form on the back you can complete if you'd like to be on our newsletter list. No obligation. We're very glad you're here, and we have a special blessing for you. So let's all rub our hands together, and together let's say our blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, we behold the Christ in you. The Christ in you is the essence of the Christ consciousness. I like the divine spark. I like talking about it. But I believe the divine spark is what allows us to perform those amazing superhuman feats, like winning a gold medal at the Olympics, or even qualifying for the Olympics. Would be a pretty big deal. There are other people who use their divine spark to create literature, music, or art that inspires others on a small or large scale. And then there's the most amazing superhuman feat we can perform, expressing kindness. Just smiling at a stranger can be life-altering for another person. An effortless display of warmth and compassion on our part can restore hope in someone, or maybe give them the courage to try again. So it's a big deal. Now let's talk unity. What is unity? Unity is a New Thought movement founded in the late 19th century by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. It's currently the largest New Thought movement in the whole world, with an estimated 1 million members worldwide. Pretty impressive. Some famous faces who've graced the halls of Unity churches include the late Betty White, Barbara Billingsley, better known as June Cleaver, and Wally Amos, better known as Famous Amos. In a nod to Black History Month, the late Della Reese of Touched by an Angel fame. She was mentored by Dr. Johnny Coleman. And Della Reese had her own New Thought church in Beverly Hills called the Up Church. You can read more about that on Unity's website. Okay. At Unity, we don't have a specific dogma or creed or any required rituals. We believe in the inherent good of people, and we focus on inner divinity versus sin and punishment, although I think we'd all agree that we understand the relationship between actions and consequences. All been there. Okay. Our teachings cover a broad spectrum of spiritual ideas and concepts, all connected to the teachings of Jesus. We consider wisdom from the ancients as well as from contemporary sages, so we're pretty open about that. At Unity, we also believe in the transformational power of prayer. We believe that healing can be achieved through our spiritual practices, but we don't reject modern medicine or medical intervention. And lastly, Unity describes itself as unapologetically inclusive. And that means that we welcome people from all backgrounds, sexual orientations, races, and ability levels. We see the divinity and the light of God in everyone. And this divinity transcends identities and circumstances. Okay, now, some announcements. Let's find out what's going on at Unity.
Can I make an announcement?
You certainly may.
Okay, I think most of the regulars here know that I've been working with Margaret for
Yes.
trying to find her a place to live. Then she had a heart attack, and we've been doing getting her in place. That part's taken care of, but spoke with her landlord about a week and a half ago, and he told me that he has just put the property on the market, but he's got several inquiries from people that just want the property for the land, and that he has no thoughts that she would be able to continue staying there after it's sold. So I'm doing my best, getting high gear about finding her a place.
Okay.
We looked at one, and it may have been a seabed, because that apartment seemed perfect for her. I talked to her about it, and she was like, that sounds good. Made an appointment to take her over to see it. The guy called me like an hour earlier and told me that he had somebody else. The sign's still up, so that tells me that was a seabed. So if you all will keep your eyes open, particularly for anything that might be privately owned, it might be a little bit easier to work around.
True.
I'm using the internet to go through and do the normal searches and stuff, but I'm wanting to ask everybody's help, prayer, support on that, and also be thinking, I know this congregation has been very good to give massive support to this lady, and she has been blessed with the ability to
still need assistance getting packed and overseeing the move and that kind of thing. So I don't know when it'll be, but I'm thinking it may be sooner rather than later. So if people could sort of pray about it, see what they've got available, see what their personal situation will allow them to do, and just everybody's got my number, my email. Get in touch with me. I'll stay in touch with anybody that expresses an interest in helping out with this.
Okay, great. Thank you for that update, Corliss, and thank you for all the efforts on behalf of Margaret that you have done. We appreciate you. It's definitely a good example of community. And the word's out. Let's help Margaret any way you can. Okay. Any other announcements? Okay, I've got a couple. Okay, let's see. Right after the service, Ann Jagert. Where's Ann? There she is. Hi, Ann. Ann will be offering the Giving of Divine Light. And I've had one of these, and I would highly recommend it. And thank you very much in advance for serving this community with your gift. Okay, next, the Unity Classics Book Study Group. We'll be meeting on Tuesday, February 24th at 10:45 a.m. Amanda Adamson's in charge of that. And they are studying Emmett Fox's book, The Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are those who read. And next, whose alchemy is it? It's her alchemy. And this group will be facilitated by Mary Russell, who will be presenting The Power of Our Voice. That sounds interesting. On the 19th of February at 6 p.m., the Unity Community Discussion Group will be meeting for the second part of their series, Envisioning Your Desired Future. So go ahead and start that now and plan to be there. Okay, Amanda's our prayer chaplain today. She's available for personal prayer after the service. And next week, plan ahead for Reverend Julie Boninger, one of our faves. Okay, now we're going to meet and greet our neighbor. Woohoo, yeehaw! In a nice way.
Make sure I
Take your seats, please. It's Tony time coming up. Boing! I just like doing that. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, I love meet and greet time too. Alrighty then. Now we have a very special guest speaker, one of our very own peeps. This is Tony Carter, who you all recognize, I'm sure. Tony has been a long-time dedicated member of Unity of Chattanooga, going to the way back in Black Street. And he's currently one of our sound and AV technicians and a member of the in-house band, the Unitics. Woo. Tony has long been a truth student, participating in various book studies, classes, and workshops that empower individuals with spiritual tools. I saw a toolbox somewhere. Okay. Today, Tony's going to share some of his biggest hits and the various tools that Unity has introduced to him and helped him to open his mind and transform his life. And his presentation today is called DIY Unity Toolbox, a toolbox for life. Yay, please give it up for Tony Carter.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. All right, so before I speak today, I'm going to do a song. It's a song that was brought to me by Beth Boyd and Maida Mathis. Song by Willie Nelson. Never heard this song before, and the lyrics just seem to fit what I'm talking about, I feel. So let's get this started. On the road, I just can't wait to get on the road. I'm sorry. That's my weekly daytime job during the week. I'm a traveling sales guy, so get with the right day, Tony. It's Sunday. All right, so let's breathe this in. Feel these lyrics. Imagine what you want, then get out of the way. Remember, energy follows thought, so be careful what you say. Be careful what you ask for. Make sure it's what you really want, because your mind is made for thinking. Remember, energy follows thought. Your mind is in control, even when you do not know. If you let it idle, ain't no telling where to go. Whenever you are sleeping, dreams take you away. Go on with your dreaming and remember what they say. If your spirit's talking, little wisdom can't be bought. Apply it to your thinking. Remember, energy follows thought. Mind is in control, even when you do not know. If you let it idle, ain't no telling where to go. Imagine what you want, then get out of the way. Remember, energy follows thought, so be careful what you think. Remember, energy follows thought, so be careful what you say. Thank you. So remember those lyrics. There'll be a test. Not for me. It's going to be life. Gotta love those life tests. All right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes today. All right, what we came here to talk about is the DIY Unity Toolbox, do-it-yourself toolbox. It's a toolbox for life. Today we have it on sale for $99.99, but if you act within the next 20 seconds, we'll sell it to you for $79.99. Operators are standing by, so call. All right, so we're not here to sell anything today. Hopefully some general reminders and hopefully something that you can take home with you and be like, let me look into that. All right, so we're in the month of February, and this is all about love, even though Bronte said it was strength last week. But yeah, it's love too. He had Valentine's Day. So they say you can't love someone else until you love yourself. But I find the kissing to be quite difficult and awkward for other people to watch. I'm sorry you had to see that. So seriously, my talk today is to discuss the various tools that Unity has given to our congregation. And my hope is to remind or even expose new tools for you guys to use. There's going to be a lot of information. This is a multifaceted there's just so much to this. So hard to compile down, and don't worry about taking notes. If you want to, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. Just give me your name and email, and I'll email over the whole talk. There's a lot more information. So I'll send that over, and if you have any tools that you guys use, and really, Gloria just kind of knocked it out of the park beforehand, so I can actually just say, hey, we're done today. Let's move on to meditation. Great job. So thank you for that. But anyway, any tools that I'm not mentioning today, pass it by me. That way, maybe I can add something in my toolbox too, because we come here every Sunday, but we need something through the week to reel us in. I do. So, all right. So it is said that everything man has created on earth first began with a thought. So this is a gift to us humans from the great Creator for us to be creators as well. This shows how powerful the human mind and will can be. So we have to be careful with our thoughts, feelings, and actions. You're going to hear a lot of that. With this concept, we can see that new thought began with a thought. Rhetorical, right? All right. So, as Gloria had mentioned, Unity is considered one of the oldest and most influential organizations within the broader New Thought movement. In the 19th century, New Thought was founded by Phineas Parkhurst Quimby. Say that 10 times quick. Who taught that the mind, not medicine, healed the body, which was influenced by Ralph Waldo Emerson and New England Transcendentalism. Now, I was introduced to New Thought concepts in my mid-30s, starting with books and audiobooks by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Tony Robbins' Unlimited Power, and Dr. Wayne Dyer. Love his stuff. The Power of Intention, Wishes Fulfilled. And in my past, tried many other churches, but didn't find anything that I resonated with. Then in the spring of 2008, I was introduced to Unity by my now wife, Eva, and Rev Doug's messages just spoke to me at the Black Street Church and seemed to mirror. I would come in and it was like, okay, did you know what happened this week? Because, wow, you're talking about this and coming up with something I can do for this. So it was just fantastic to have that. And then in 2012, I finally became a member of Unity and was led to, Eva had given me a book, Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping. Loved that book so much that I actually started a course, and in 2013 became a radical forgiveness coach and led a few seminars at the Black Street location. So I'm just grateful for our Unity community. I'm grateful for the people who brought both churches to Chattanooga, and grateful for Penny and Doug. Thank you, Penny, for being the glue. If it hadn't been for you, we may not be standing here today. So thank you for doing what you do. I mean, yes. So it's great to be here with like-minded individuals and just share all this information that we have. So was going to start out with a brief Unity history, but I think Gloria kind of covered the bases, but I'm just going to mention a little about it. I mean, as we heard, it was founded in 1890 by Charles Myrtle Fillmore as a healing ministry based on the power of prayer and the power that our thoughts create our own reality. Therefore, the main concepts of Unity are affirmative prayer, meditation, and understanding that our thoughts create reality. So after attending a lecture by E.B. Weeks, Myrtle was able to use these techniques to heal her hereditary weakness from a tubercular condition by repeating, "I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness." So more information about this can be found in Eric Butterworth's book, Unity, A Quest for Truth. So today we're going to be exploring the third concept or tool, being thoughts create our reality. And as you can see, it's kind of hard to read this, but we have all these different religions, but there's a commonality that can be found. And sometimes we can see our Unity tools can sometimes weave together and cross each other, or sometimes you see a pattern of commonalities. It's interesting that we can find techniques that work today, and then all of a sudden they're not working or they're just not as effective, so you got to try to find something else. I don't understand that, but I guess it's just Mother Nature's way of keeping us learning and growing with these type of changes where we must find new techniques to keep growing spiritually. But isn't that the constant in human life? Change from day one when we hit this earth until we leave and thereafter, right? So to me, Unity has taught me to be more open-minded with my thoughts and is very complementary to and with other religions and teachings. So thank you, Unity. So I want to give a quote by Gandhi: "How may I serve? The best way to find yourself is to be in service to others." I feel that this is the primary reason for us being on this earth, is to learn how to serve others and love others, which can be difficult sometimes. And it's also why we can get a great feeling when we are helping another person, like Corliss helping Margaret. That's awesome. So everything around us is energy and frequency. It is interconnected. Everything starts in our mind, and from there, all reality is created. There's a rule. The energy you put out is the energy you receive back through thoughts, feelings, and vibrations. Putting this together, I was amazed how those kept coming up. Thoughts, feelings, and vibrations. Anyway, your thoughts create things, and what you focus on expands, which is known as law of attraction. We've heard a lot of that around here. So law of attraction, one key is love, which is one of the highest vibrations. It requires unwavering faith and belief to work. You suspend all skepticism and disbelief. This law works in tandem with other laws like the law of vibration. So feelings must be associated and amplified with the thoughts. The feelings that are consistent determine your vibrational frequency. If I can get this to change. So here you can see this is really hard to read, so if anyone would like this, I can send it over to you. So David R. Hawkins' emotional scale is a great example. And as you can see, love is one of the highest vibrational frequencies. So it's about being and not doing, which is kind of contrary to what we do on this earth sometimes, right? It's about doing. I got to do this. We just got to be. It's hard for me to do that. So there are 3 basic steps to the law of attraction: asking the universe for what you want, having unwavering faith, fully believing it will be delivered, and opening yourself to receiving it by taking inspired action. Note, a lot of things can get in the way, such as negative chatter, our thoughts, other people's beliefs, our beliefs, you name it. So the law of attraction is always working, just the law of gravity is working. But we are not aware because we're born on autopilot. So it does not show favoritism or discrimination. Therefore, don't give too much of your thoughts and feelings and energy to the things you don't want, such as a lack mindset as it responds to the energy that you hold most often. Instead, practice reframing those things into what you do want and creating abundance. Be clear. Focus on desires and goals. Use the gift of free will to control thoughts, feelings, and vibration. Hearing this again. To attract a high vibration, think and feel positive more than 51% by focusing on people, places, and experiences positively. Use your feelings as your inner guidance system and use the feedback from the universe by paying attention to the following. Intention setting with the purpose of creating reality. A Harvard Business School study found that 83% of people do not set goals, and those who do are 10 times more likely to be successful. So this shows that a vast majority of people are missing the very first element of law of attraction, which is getting clear on what you want. Goals, visions. Luckily, we've been using these, right? Spiritual alignment. This is the process of consciously connecting with God to experience the presence of God and transform your life. It's achieved with mindfulness, which is being mindless to receive messages. Yoga, meditation, playing instruments, driving the car with the radio off, just being able to get what you need. So another thing to pay attention to is the RAS process, Reticular Activating System process. So this is the brain's filter of overwhelming stimuli, and it processes what we deem to be important in our environment and leaves out the rest. So you think about buying a new car, all of a sudden you see this car everywhere, and it's like, I want that. So you got to pay attention to what you're seeing, as well as the rule of 3. So if you hear something 3 times, it could be the universe giving you a nudge. Hey, wake up. I've had that. Sometimes I haven't paid attention to that. So trust in your inner spiritual intelligence that is equally distributed to us all. Spiritual intelligence expresses itself through our physical bodies as feelings. When we block it, it can show up in our bodies as dis-ease. So pay attention to those feelings that we're having. I know I've had that happen to me, and it's interesting how it can take, you can experience strong feelings, and it can take a year, 2 years, and then boom, your body's reacting, and it's like, okay, why didn't that happen earlier? Anyway, another thing to pay attention to, intuition. Have you ever thought about someone and then they call you, or they're just like, hey, I was about to call you, and you call them? So an example of this is Theory of Morphogenic Fields by Rupert Sheldrake, who wrote the book How Dogs Find Their Way Home. So this is based on dogs that are lost thousands of miles away, but they find their way home back to their owner. So he theorizes and explains that the dog was able to merge its consciousness into the larger energetic field to tune into the part that its owner is located and find its way home. So it's interesting, I heard on the radio just about a week and a half ago about a feel-good story about this 3-year-old toddler that went missing. And the police, the neighbors were all looking for this child. They couldn't find this child. And this one officer kept having a dog come up and bark at him. He shooed it away. And the dog kept coming back. And he's like, finally, I'm going to follow this dog. The dog led him to a cellar door where this child had gotten locked behind it. So, intuition. Listen to those dogs and other animals, right? All right, so note that you cannot use law of attraction to bring harm to others. Grudges and desire for revenge will only attract more of that to yourself. You don't need that negativity. So hanging on to the past, reliving the worst moments, will only attract similar experiences. So break that cycle, cut the energetic cord, and forgive and let go of anger, resentment, and bitterness so that it clears space for love and raise your high vibration so you can receive more love and abundance. So it's about that emotional scale, just getting to love. Sometimes hard to do that. So try to keep present. Concentrating on the past can sometimes give us depression, and concentrating on the future can sometimes give us anxiety. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of anxiety now, is because we don't know where the future is headed. So you turn on the news, you're like, oh my God, Armageddon. So keep present. Just know God's got this, right? We got this, God got this. So the quote, well, maybe Buddha. I've read several information about this, and anyway, we'll say it's Buddha. So holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. But you are the one that gets burned. Ouch. Done that. So remember, forgiveness of someone is for you. It's not for them. It's healing for you. Forgiving someone else does not mean that you forget or excuse the harmful behaviors, nor does it mean that you want to reconciliate. Sometimes that's just not even the case. So the ultimate goal is the act of intentionally deciding to release resentment and anger toward another. So it's getting to that higher vibration. So remember, whatever energy you put out comes back to you. So don't attract the cosmic 2x4. Bam, I've had that in the back of the head before. It does not feel good. So do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? So we have some forgiveness techniques here. So use the following techniques to program the subconscious mind, which is in control of our mind 99% of the time from what they say. I have a hard time with that. So one of the first tools we have, if I can get this to move, where did it go? There it is. Self-forgiveness. So you can use the 4 R's. I find sometimes self-forgiveness can be one of the hardest things to do when I do something that's, oh, come on, really? You did this? That subconscious getting in the way. And so you can use the 4 R's for self-forgiveness. Responsibility, own your actions. 2, remorse, release the hurt that's caused. 3, restoration, apologize, repair. And 4, renewal, show yourself compassion, learn from the past, and move forward with wisdom. So use, like any skill, forgiveness can be practiced and improved over time. So another technique that can be used is by Colin Tipping. And like I said, I kind of went through one of his programs. I actually went to one of his weekend workshop. And interesting man. He could not get a grasp on even myself. But this all started with 5-day cancer retreats that he and his wife would do, and it started in 1992, believing that a lack of forgiveness contributed to the illness. And Colin's epiphany came when he realized that traditional forgiveness often left people feeling like victims trapped in their pain. So while letting go of anger and resentment is crucial, it doesn't always address the deeper wounds or feelings of betrayal and injustice. So Colin saw the need for more of a holistic approach that could transform pain into joy, peace, and empowerment. So radical forgiveness was born from that. So the philosophy is rooted in the idea that our souls are on a journey of growth and evolution, and challenges are opportunities for learning and transformation, which is why we can have cycles of similar happenings that we have to forgive. So something can happen earlier in your life, and you're going to have that keep popping up until you forget it, because that's in that subconscious. You got to break that cycle somehow. And he has great techniques for that. There's other people that have great techniques as well. So he has a quote, "If you spot it, you got it." I had a little trouble with that. I'm like, I don't have that one. So our enemies can be our teachers. And the way it works is that we use the law of attraction. Here we are again, law of attraction. In resonance, to pull in someone who exhibits a lot of that quality we cannot accept, or even things we cannot accept in ourselves, our shadow selves. He has a concept and a theory about soul agreements, that before we get on this earthly plane, that there are agreements made for this to happen on the earthly plane. So it's kind of interesting. So we have the 4 steps of radical forgiveness. Look what I created. I notice my judgments and feelings and love myself for having them. I am willing to see the spiritual perfection in the situation, and I choose the power of peace. So Colin has other worksheets that are on the website that if you got something deeper, this works great for minor infractions. If you got something that's deeper, the worksheet is fantastic. All right, so another one we've heard a lot about, the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Repeat as many times as possible until the burden feels lifted. So, as Gloria mentioned, gratitude. And we actually had Karen Claypool talk about this recently. And gratitude is the law of attraction. If you want to attract more positiveness into your life, you must be grateful for what you already have. Make gratitude a daily practice to stay connected to your higher self. Give gratitude for what you already have, and gratitude for what you desire as though it is already yours. The universe loves gratitude. I recently read a HealthScope magazine that had articles discussing the health benefits of gratitude as well as the healing power of forgiveness. Research shows that expressing gratitude releases dopamine and serotonin into the brain, which are chemicals that can make you contribute to happiness, and is associated with positive effects in both mental and physical health. So make it a regular practice to become a habit. 21 days before you get a habit? All right, so another one. We've talked a lot about this one, manifesting. So this is the act of your desires showing up in your physical reality. It is the action taken to bring the principles of law of attraction. So it's just amazing how law of attraction is so crucial in our lives. So there are no limits. The only limits that we have are the limits that our mind makes up. We are connected to infinite source and energy and wisdom, and we're always connected to this through our thoughts, feelings, and vibrations. There we are again with that. So the universe responds to what you think and feel the majority of the time. If you think and feel positive thoughts and emotions more than 50% of the time, you will up the scales toward a higher vibration and manifest more high vibrational things. Therefore, your feelings are your inner guidance system to let you know if you're on the right track. So there's 2 ways of manifesting. You can manifest from your ego, which is the world of humanity, low vibration, or from the higher self, which is the world of divine truth, or high vibration. So the ego is there to protect us, and it's limited to blinders. So ego manifesting is what you think will make you happy, but it lacks substance, so it does not make you happy in the long run. Sometimes it's what our brain feels is more reasonable. Now the higher self, pure love. So there are no limits, and it uses the path of least resistance. It is manifesting what will truly make you happy. Our higher self understands your oneness with the universe. A sign that you are connected with the universe is that you are operating from a place of ease versus resistance. Your feelings serve as an inner guidance system. So use your intuition more than your ego. Remember, work harder, not smarter. Wait a minute. Work smarter, not harder. See, I was testing you guys. I told you there'd be a test. Amanda got it right off the bat. All right. I'm a little dyslexic. You have to pardon me on that. I'm showing my humanness. So it doesn't feel like hard work. It excites and energizes you to create a life that fulfills you in all areas and to take inspired action. So ask the higher self, what will you have me know? What will you have me do? I am open to receiving your guidance. So some other ways, radical manifestation. Colin Tipping has a little fourth statement on that too. Mae McCarthy, we had her over the Unitarian. Great speaker and a great class that we had. And so she has the Chief Spiritual Officer Gratitude Letter, which is a great thing to do on a daily basis, and the Giving Forth Forgiveness Prayer. And these are from her book, The Path to Wealth. And she says, end your day with forgiveness and gratitude. Gratitude helps you sleep better, and you'll notice more possibilities. And she has a forgiveness mantra, I bless you, I forgive you, and I release you. Another thing, I'm not going to go into it, there's quantum manifesting, and I went backwards. Whoops, and I'm still going backwards. There's also, we can manifest hope, manifest peace. There's so many things that you can do with manifesting. So it's a great tool to have in the box. All right, so just remember there's a vast abundance. Nature and the universe demonstrate that there's always more than enough. There is no lack. Another tool that we're going to be doing here in a moment, tithing. It's one of the best things that we can do. Edwin Gaines is great, and she has the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity, the importance of tithing and giving time, talents, and treasures to those who inspire you. Feel inspired here. How about you? 2, setting the clear, attainable goals. We just heard that earlier, that we need to set goals. Committing to forgiveness, especially of oneself. So, clear that energy so we can get to that higher vibration. Kind of hard to do when you're driving down I-24 and 75. And finding and discovering your divine purpose. So today, we have discussed the aforementioned tools, law of attraction, intention setting, goal setting, gratitude, using intuition, spiritual intelligence, spiritual alignment, manifesting, forgiveness work, and tithing, which we're going to do here in a moment. Other tools not to be forgotten are prayer, affirmations, meditation, which is one of the chords of Unity, meditation, and we'll be doing that here in a moment too. Mirror work, visualization, journaling, vision boards, book studies, and classes, which I'm so happy to see that we have those. Those are very instrumental of keeping us centered during the week and keeping present. All right, to sum it all up, thoughts create our feelings and actions. The common theme is law of attraction is always working with the energy you put out is the energy you receive back through your thoughts, feelings, and vibrations. So, what a wonderful world we have. Let's release and let go. Then, imagine what you want. Then get out of the way. Remember, energy follows thoughts, so be careful what you say and think. So I'm going to leave you with one little concept here I've recently heard about. I think it's kind of cool, wabi-sabi. It's a Japanese worldview centered that encourages mindfulness on finding beauty and acceptance in imperfection, briefness, sorry I wasn't brief today, and simplicity. So that'll be something to think about during this week. And it is helpful, I think, to look at our imperfections. We think we're perfect creatures. We have to be perfect. And I mean, what's the Olympics? I mean, those poor competitors sometimes, yeah, they're perfect sometimes, and sometimes they, talking about using self-forgiveness, right? All right, so now we're going to go into meditation. So get a comfortably seated position, allowing your hands to rest softly on your lap or by your sides. When you're ready, gently close your eyes and take a deep, soothing breath in. And as you exhale, let go of any stress, tension, or worries. Allow yourself to settle into the moment, feeling the surface beneath you supporting your body. Take another deep breath in, filling your lungs completely, and as you exhale, imagine releasing any remaining distractions or concerns, letting them drift away. Now bring your attention to the natural rhythm of your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest with each inhale and exhale. With every breath you take in, imagine drawing in calm, clarity, and focus. With every exhale, release anything that no longer serves you. Let your body relax more deeply with each breath, settling into a state of peaceful stillness. As you continue to breathe, begin to bring to mind something you wish to manifest in your life. It could be a specific goal, a dream, or a positive change you desire. Take a moment to hold this vision clearly in your mind as though it is already part of your reality. Picture it vividly, seeing all the details come to life, imagining the colors, the shapes, the people involved. Make this vision as real as possible in your mind. If any doubts or negative thoughts arise, simply acknowledge them without judgment. Visualize them as small dark clouds drifting away on a gentle breeze, leaving only a clear, bright sky in your mind. Trust that you are letting go of any limiting beliefs, making space for your desires to flow freely into your life. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, silently repeat to yourself, I am aligned with the energy of abundance. I attract my desires effortlessly. I am a powerful creator of my reality. So when you're ready, gently bring your awareness back to the present moment. Feel the surface beneath you, the air around you, and the gentle rhythm of your breath. Wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing small movements back to your body. Take one final deep, energizing breath in. And as you slowly exhale, open your eyes, carrying this sense of alignment, gratitude, and confidence with you as you move forward in your day. So, you guys have a great day and a great week. Thank you. Thank you. So now I think we're going to be moving into one of the best things that would, whoops, I forgot to move that over to that one. So I think we'll be doing the offering, the tithe now. So we'll be able to use one of those great tools that we have. Is that correct? Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yes, time for our tithes and offerings, an opportunity to participate in the law of circulation. There are some wonderful Bible verses about tithing, but I'm going to go with the lyrics of a Rolling Stones song. You can't always get what you want. But if you tithe sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. Woo! Our ushers come forth. Oh, that's right. We got to bless the love offering. Together. Divine love
Through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I receive in abundance. Am I muted, Steve? All right, anyway, we'll go on. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Very nice. We bless these offerings to the highest good of our church, and we thank each giver and ask our blessings on each giver. Thank you. Tony did a great job today. She just did, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed it.
It was great. It was very comprehensive, very insightful. So we all enjoyed that. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you.
You're kind of a one-man show today.
My pleasure.
Okay, we are going to turn this place into a cafe very soon. Need your help with picking your parcels up out of your chairs and getting the furniture ready. And just a quick shout out to all of our volunteers. We love you guys. There's room for more anytime. Just see somebody afterward. Okay, how about if we stand for the peace song?
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, in oneness all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Woo-hoo!